What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. And I'll tell you what, over the next 2 weeks, you guys are about to get really sick of me, because I wasn't even planning on doing this video. Consider this a bonus video, because if you watch my last update video, I made an announcement that on this channel, starting today at noon, so 1 hour from this video's release, I am going to review Friday the 13th Part 1, and then every day after that, I'm going to review one of the Friday the 13th, 1 through 12, and then on Friday the 13th, I'm going to do my entire franchise ranking. I've been meaning to do that for years, so be sure to check out the video in 1 hour's time at noon. But I actually just got done recording my review for Friday the 13th Part 1, and I thought, I'm going to record this little bonus video because I already have my camera set up, and this is something I've been kind of wanting to do for a while. You guys know this is primarily a horror channel, but, I changed it on my bio of my channel a long time ago that this is horror and cult reviews, though I've really rarely dabbled in cult movies, and I really wouldn't mind to. So I have 3 movies here that I'm going to talk to you guys about real quick that are not horror, and let me know in the comments if you want me to do more non-horror stuff on this channel. But anyways, these are just 3 flicks I've watched over the week, and I just kind of want to talk about them. So right here we have Dazed and Confused. This is a Criterion release. This is not the 4K. I got this before they announced the 4K. Very, very beautiful release. Inside here, got us a nice booklet, movie poster. Criterion always does some good releases, though I look at them as kind of a snooty label, you know what I mean? But anyways, Dazed and Confused, this is a movie I grew up on. I absolutely love this movie, watched it all the time when I was a teenager. I felt like I could relate to it. Fun fact, the first scene, or last day of school, they're driving up with Sweet Emotion. I remember doing the exact same thing with my friend Dustin back in the day because we loved this movie. So we got to reenact the scene kind of and whatnot. But, with summer kind of wrapping up, it's been wrapped up. We're in October now, October 1st. It hasn't gotten too cold or anything like that here in Michigan. I thought, let me get another summertime movie off and watch Dazed and Confused. And I'll tell you what, this movie is absolutely amazing for a movie that they say is a movie about nothing, which I noticed this last time watching it, but I didn't mind. I absolutely love this movie. And it's like, for a movie about nothing, it's okay in that sense because it feels like you're just kind of along for the ride, slow ride, like they say in the movie. But this pretty much follows some juniors on their last day of school that are going to become seniors and some 8th graders that are going to become freshmen. And the tradition is that the soon-to-be seniors are going to paddle and spank on the butt, like those old paddle things they do in fraternities and old movies. I've never seen anybody in my generation do that type of shit. But they're after these kids on the last day of school to give them their lickings to kind of initiate them into high school. And we just kind of follow the juniors, which are a bunch of football players, and they got to sign this pledge and everything. You got the star quarterback, Pink. He doesn't know if he wants to do it because he's not fully into being a jock like that, because he gets along with a lot of the nerds and the burnouts too, which we get a pretty wide cast of characters. We get the jocks, we get the burnouts, we get the nerds, we get the younger kids. And this is a movie right here that is shot well, directed well, the whole deal, but this is characters 100%. A lot of these characters, you feel like you know them, like you could be friends with them, you could relate to them, you could hate them. And then the soundtrack alone is absolutely amazing. This would be a good vinyl soundtrack to add to the collection. I should look that up after I get done recording this. It's been my thing lately, vinyl soundtracks. But anyways, I'm sure most everybody knows about this movie. And if you haven't seen this movie, if you've never seen this movie, I'll just tell you one thing. It'd be a lot cooler if you did. All right, next up. And this is another reason I kind of wanted to talk about some of these films, because I pick up a lot of boutique label movies that aren't just horror, ones that are pretty badass that I'd love to talk about. And here is a very notorious film right here, Kids. Just inside. This is one that's been out of print for a very, very long time until Umbrella Entertainment put it out. And I was borderline about to buy this one, a foreign release, because I ended up getting a region-free player a couple years ago, which I highly recommend doing. It is a life changer. But Kids, this movie, I guess, is almost another movie about nothing, but this is a really fucked up movie. It follows these 2 kids, Telly and Telly and what the fuck is the other guy's name? Casper, Telly and Casper. I couldn't remember the name of the final girl in Friday the 13th Part 1. Spoiler alert, I felt like an asshole. I just got done watching it. But anyways, kids. It follows these two kids. They got to be about 17 years old. They live in New York City. And this is kind of a movie about sex and everything and how kids and teens act up and how wild and bad they can be. It starts off with Tilly taking this much younger girl's virginity in the opening of the movie. And he meets up with his friend outside. And they're going to steal 40s from the store and everything. And you get the hint right off the bat. These are some very bad and shitty kids. And it's pretty much them just going around town trying to find shit to do on a hot day, going and chilling with their friends. They're drinking, smoking blunts, you know, stealing, all this bullshit, just all this reprehensible shit. And then on the other hand, you have the girls that are talking about the same thing in one scene, about how that's all they care about and everything. And it's a really sex-driven movie, this was meant to be an eye-opener for America and everything. This came out in, 95, which I won't lie, it pretty much is. And watching this movie and some scenes of dialogue, like I just watched August Underground maybe 3 weeks ago, whenever it came out. And that movie was really disturbing and fucked up, but I won't lie. There was a lot of scenes in this movie where I felt more uncomfortable watching this film than I did watching August Underground or anything like that. And it was fucked up, man. But it's a fun movie in the sense of, like, it follows all these skateboarders, Harold Hunter, who used to ride for Zoo York, and, you know, in the 90s and everything, and all these real-life skaters, their crews and everything, just chilling in the 90s and everything. So I guess I kind of identified with that. This was a generation before me, but I grew up skating with my friends, just bullshitting, and, you know, that kind of lifestyle. So, like, I think a lot of adults can relate to it, because as fucked up as this movie is, it kind of is exactly how it was back in the day for some of us. A lot of us grew up pretty fast, you know what I mean? And the main storyline of this movie is where Tully's the main guy. His deal is he's trying to get as many girls, unprotected sex with as many girls as he can. It's like his hit list or whatever. But one of the girls he hooks up with, who only slept with him once, goes to a clinic with her friend who had way more activity, and she finds out that she has HIV, which was, you know, a very big thing back then, which still is now, but, you know, more scary then, I would say. And it kind of goes on the side mission where she's on a mission to find Tully to tell him about everything. And she's just right off his trails. And, you know, very nice girl. I feel bad for her in this movie. You know, like I said, a lot of very uncomfortable situations. And I won't say much more about this, except this culminates in one of the most fucked up endings in a movie I have ever seen in my life. It is messed up. And if you're going to grab this Umbrella title, they have a documentary right here, We Were Kids. We Were Once Kids, a full-length documentary, which I also watched. Very eye-opening. There was a lot of fucked up things that happened behind the scenes with the director and everything, and I was wondering when watching this, so give it a shot. This is well worth it to watch for anybody. And last but not least, this is one I actually watched it last night. I couldn't remember for a second, man. I work second shift, the graveyard, so it kind of blurs sometimes, but this is To Live and Die in L.A. This is a movie I never seen before, first time watch. And let me tell you, this movie was amazing. I love this film. Right off the bat, Kino, this 4K was amazing. From the title card alone with the neon green on the sunset of L.A., it just looks so good. And bravo. Like, I hate to say that I've become a 4K snood, because I'll still get Blu-rays, but it's like, once you get a 4K player and a 4K TV, it's like, it's hard to go back to some films, because this was absolutely amazing. It looks so good. And, yeah, it's about this guy who's doing counterfeit money in LA, and we got a special unit, like detective cop, after him. Richard Chance, I believe. The counterfeit guy ends up killing his longtime partner that was 2 days away from retirement, so he goes on this mission to take him down. He gets a new partner, and they go hunting him down. And this goes through so many hoops and ladders, where at first I thought this was going to be just a basic cat and mouse action movie, but there are so many twists and turns in this movie, and it is shot so well. This is a noir, if that's how you say it, kind of film. It's shot kind of differently with darks and lights, which is a very cool thing. And same director as the guy who did The Exorcist, I believe. But yeah, this was shot well, looks well, and where you think it might just be a regular hokey action movie, you really fall in love with Chance, the lead. This guy was really good, and he just keeps the narrative of this film just keeps changing and changing and keeping you guessing. It has one of the most badass car chases in this. It says it on the back, you know, one of the best car chases, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it was pretty badass, driving backwards full speed through LA traffic and everything. And that scene in particular, there's a fucking crazy twist that comes right after that. You got to see to believe. In one of the most shocking endings in any film you will see, I guarantee. You know, just like I said with kids, both of these movies, I think that's why I wanted to come on here and talk about those in general, because it's like, man, like, I was blown away with this one, you know, and the soundtrack with what Wang Chung or whatever. This is like, I don't know if you guys listen to like synthwave or retrowave. My buddy Pope got me onto it years ago, like the Midnight and, you know, stuff like that. They're just copying, emulating like 80s action movie, like synth music, and I love it to death. But this one was great. I'm going to recommend this to a lot of people, everybody watching. So I would say, if you haven't seen this one, this is the one I'm sure you guys have all seen. Dazed and Confused. Very fun, comfort movie. Kids. Very realistic, uncomfortable movie that you need to watch. And then To Live and Die in LA. An absolute masterpiece of fucking epic action film. Almost shot like an indie film in a lot of ways, but with a lot of twists, a lot of fun action. Very violent, too. A lot of violence in here. But I think that's just about it with these titles. But like I said, I had a lot of fun, obviously, talking about these films. I want to do more than just horror sometimes. So if you guys enjoyed me talking about films like this, let me know, and I'll start putting out more reviews. I'll start showing my hauls. There's so many times I do a horror movie collection update with all my new horror flicks I picked up over a month, where I got badass titles like this I don't even show, because that's not what the channel's about, you know? I don't even keep my boutique labels together. They go on a whole different shelf, you know what I mean? If it's, you know, I got fucking RoboCop ain't with my Scream Factory collection. It's down in the action. I categorize everything by genre. But anyways, like I said, if you guys want to see more of this, let me know. And like I said, at noon today, less than an hour, I got another video coming out. You guys are going to be sick as hell of me. We're going to have one coming out every single day of the week. Like I said, if you're new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We are getting closer and closer to 800. That is the next goal. 1,000 is the ultimate goal. But anyways, thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys watching. Blood Guts Gore. I'll check you next time in less than an hour.